The Golan Heights is exactly what it sounds like. It is this mountainous kind of area that looks down into the Sea of Galilee, all of the historic places outside of Jerusalem, and an entire community, for as far as the eye can see, in Israel. If you take control of the Golan Heights, you can kill everybody in that valley. The Israelis took it in 1967 because they knew what that meant, because they had seen Syria and others take it, and they saw the damage that could happen in just a few short days. So they took that territory and said, sorry, you're not getting this one back. Now, missiles are flying in from Syria. We don't have an idea yet of who is doing that, but most likely the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. That is on the the northeast side of Israel. On the northern side of Israel, Hezbollah is lining up on the border. They are also a direct offshoot of Iran. They are lining up. This is a terrible, terrible, vicious group. Not that the rest of them aren't, but this is a very effective group. Then in the south, you have Hamas and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, both of them financed and run by proxy through Iran. Then you also have the sleeper cells that are suspected to be inside of Israel in Judea and Samaria that have not been activated yet. By the way, it is important for you to call the, quote, West Bank by its real name, Judea and Samaria. The West Bank is used by the Palestinians to confuse people. You can't have something that is occupied by Jews if its name is Judea. Stop using West Bank. I know it's hard. Now we have aircraft carrier going in to help on the western side with Hamas. But we probably need 2 aircraft carriers, and we need another fleet in the Strait of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb. These are the 2 places where most of the world's oil flows through those 2 straits, and then down past the coast of Africa. And the rest of it goes through the Suez Canal. If you have the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb, which is right off of Yemen, now you know why Iran has been trying to get Yemen for so long. If you control that, you can pretty much control the Suez Canal. You control the Suez Canal, you control most of the world's oil. Let me tell you about something that happened here. I'm trying to put all of this into context for you in a way that when I tell you what I need to tell you today, it will make sense. Cut 2 here. This is a massive pro-Palestinian rally in Michigan. There's got to be 3,000 people indoors. Tons and tons of Palestinian supporters in a rally in Michigan. This is happening all over the world. but it's also happening in all of our big cities. Now, I want you to know that these not necessarily this one, but one in Spain and several around the world have begun chanting, "Gas the Jews, gas the Jews." And you can say, well, that's not everybody. No, it's not everybody. But if I'm standing around somebody that says, "Gas the Jews," I get away from those people pretty quickly. We have been having a debate about how, Nazi white supremacists are everywhere. I will tell you, I haven't seen the Nazi rallies. I've seen one in Charleston. That was enough. I just need to see that one to have enough of Nazi rallies. But I see these Palestinian rallies everywhere. Everywhere. And there is no difference in your support of Palestine today than your support for the Nazi Party in Germany in 1938. No, I'm sorry. There is a difference. In 1938, we only had speculation. We had Hitler's words. We had words like this. Here's a montage of Hamas leaders talking about what their ultimate goal is in Iran. Cut 3, please. He says, "O Allah, paralyze the Jews, destroy them entirely. O Allah, enable us to get to the Jews, enable us to kill the Jews. The day of your slaughter, Jews, extermination and annihilation is near." Another one, "Until not a single Jew or Zionist is left on the face of the earth. Our doctrine in fighting you, the Jews, is that you will be totally exterminated. You will not leave a single one of you alive. The Quran says, kill them wherever you may find them. We will fight them wherever we can. The moment will come when property will be destroyed and their sons annihilated. O Allah, destroy the Jews and their supporters. O Allah, destroy the Americans and their supporters. O Allah, count them one by one. Kill them all without leaving a single one." This is who they say they are. Now, we had that in the 1920s and 1930s with Hitler. We had him saying what he was going to do. And then smoke. Then, as they were putting together and executing the final solution, they covered it and tried to let the world know that that's not what they're doing. But this time, we know this is what they said they were doing. Give me the reporter on the severed babies' heads. One report. Cut one.
I'm talking to some of the soldiers, and they say what they've witnessed as they've been walking through these different houses, these different communities. Babies, their heads cut off. That's what they said. Gunned down, families completely gunned down in their beds.
I don't know. We don't know if that is one baby, 40 babies. That's what's being kicked around now, is that they found 40 babies. One baby is enough. And quite honestly, you don't have to behead them to be a monster. You just have to execute them. You just have to walk in to a crib, look in it, and shoot them. To me, that makes you a monster. Anyone who is saying right now that this is at all justified because of the situation they're in, let me ask you, what kind of civilization are you building? Because I don't care how bad it got. I would not walk in to house to house to house and shoot children in their cribs, let alone behead one of them. I would be very clear, we're on the wrong side. The first thing I want to tell you today is the choice is clear. This horrible situation that happened over the weekend is a blessing to all men on earth, for they have one last chance to pick a side. You have one last chance. I don't think it's going to become more clear, but what is going to happen from here is the sides are going to calcify. And now we are overlooking not just chance of shout your abortion in this death cult. We are now seeing the execution and rape of children and babies. And don't think they're not connected. There is a very clear side, and I'm not saying it's the United States of America or Israel, but there is a very clear side on good, and the good side does not kill and rape children. Clear, crystal clear. If you make any excuse for any of that, you are on the wrong side. If you ignore it, you will be on the wrong side. If you look away, you will be on the wrong side. This is a culling. This is a gathering of people who still understand the difference between right and wrong and good and evil. You have been so manipulated that most of Americans, they can't tell the difference now. God help them. Number one thing I have to tell you today. This is the time of choosing. This is the time where you have to make the decision. Where do I stand? Now, Black Lives Matter yesterday posted a graphic featuring a silhouette of a paraglider and a Palestinian flag, along with a text that says, "I stand with Palestine." It has earned more than 14 million views on X so far. BLM in Chicago also made the graphic its cover photo on Facebook. Now, I have to tell you, all kinds of people said all kinds of things and were shamed into putting a black box on their Facebook page or their social pages in support of BLM. We told you at the time, this is very anti-family. They call, in their own words, for the end of the nuclear family. It is evil. Now for them to come out this week with a paraglider, the image of these terrorists coming in, they landed, they took their gun, they killed all the people at a concert, and then went into the kibbutzes and killed as many as they could. For them to do this is saying one thing: we do believe in the end of the nuclear family. If it's by raping and killing and beheading children, so be it. If someone did those very things 200 years ago, they should be condemned. But if you do it to Israelis, you're fine. BLM is an evil organization. And if you cannot bring yourself to say that, you are going to end up on the wrong side. It is an evil organization. Its own charter should have let you know that long ago. They are not about anything. This is what the world looks like if those kinds of groups win. This is their version of justice. You have a lot of things to make sure you check off today so you know which side you're on.